So My Hero Academia is back after its 1 week break, and I have to say this episode, it really kicked off this core of the anime pretty damn well. Now I've heard a lot of manga readers say that, it's gonna be a while before we get to anything truly exciting, but this was absolutely exciting for me in every way, shape, or form. What I really like with this episode, and just really reflecting on the series over the past couple of seasons, is how well this school is detailed, which is something that I don't think enough people give credit to, myself included, where you're really understanding why this is a school that everyone wants to go to above all other schools training heroes, and just why so many heroes come out of this school and actually become pros. I think the idea that the provisional license that they're all working up towards, it's not the same test each year. They don't train and test students in the same way each year. It feels like the teachers and just the curriculum overall, it evolves each year or very often. So it's really kind of taking the best aspects and really kind of testing and really putting these characters into more challenging situations, but also evolving their powers in a more interesting way than just always testing them if they have a good ultimate move or if they're good in hand-to-hand combat. It feels like each year with each group of students, they're really kind of testing and kind of experimenting on how to test if these kids are ready to be heroes. And I think that's really interesting. I like the idea that an ultimate move in this series is not your traditional laser beam to blast away the enemy. The idea of an ultimate move actually being kind of like your trump card, the idea of being able to outmaneuver your opponent and not have them be able to copy that move, having it be a very distinct move for yourself, and it doesn't have to be an attack. It can be a way to escape or just manipulate the enemy, like you're learning with that guy who has the wood ability to kind of like capture his opponent. It doesn't always have to be an attack move, and I like that. Even seeing just like when you have Tokiyama use Dark Shadow to cloak himself and essentially make up for not having that great of physical strength, it's really interesting to see how ultimate moves are implemented in this series when compared to so many others, because I was expecting a bit more of a gimmicky episode with ultimate moves. Even though I trust in the series at this point, I've seen what ultimate moves are generally used for, but actually seeing the purpose in My Hero Academia, it really gives it a lot more meaning than a lot of series with said ultimate moves. Not to mention how the costumes are portrayed. A lot of times it's just a way to hide your identity, but here it's an actual part of your abilities. Your suit should not only fit your style, but it also should amplify or fix issues with your powers. And I like the idea of Deku getting braces for his arms, so when he does punch, there's less of a chance for him to damage his arms. To just how even just all the smaller characters kind of work with their suits and to kind of make them a bit better for themselves, and how like it's not just like you can switch your suit up, it's actually a government thing. Like if it's too big of a change, you gotta file the paperwork and it'll get back to you in a few days. That's very interesting, and it shows that like society isn't in this like weird state of like we need to oppose the government because they're monitoring superheroes. No, it's like it definitely feels like society, it's this government regulated thing, but it's a good thing with how it's regulated and how superheroes are portrayed in this world. I just really like how this episode functioned and fleshed out Deku himself as a character. Seeing All Might just kind of come in, not in his muscular form, but not really feel ashamed of that and trying to teach all the students basically in his own way. Because even though he is trying to learn to be a teacher, he has his handbook for dummies, it's actually really nice to see All Might in this situation and how he's not taking back his word. He is going to give his all to training Deku, but at the same time, he's not going to give Deku all the answers. He needs to figure out for himself. And when Deku finally does figure it out and you see him use his legs, he kicks that rock before it smacks All Might in the face, it really kind of shocked me because I wasn't thinking that Deku would be anything other than a hand-to-hand fighter, which is why he was kind of struggling and why he was trying to be All Might instead of doing his own thing. But you can already see it's looking pretty damn good. If he keeps on this path, Deku can become his own All Might. He won't become All Might, but he'll become his own person and easily could become the #1 hero in his own way, which is really interesting and I think is a really good piece of development, especially for Deku. Yes, he'll be able to punch a bit better with the braces, but also he has the ability to do so much more and he has so much more freedom that his development with his powers is going to be much more interesting now that he's not just trying to imitate All Might. And that's pretty damn exciting, just overall watching all the characters kind of experiment with their powers, looking at a character like Bakugo who's not only trying to develop one ultimate move, but multiple ultimate moves, which is so fitting for his character, and he's so skilled, he absolutely could pull it off. This was a really engaging episode. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. If I can expect stuff like this, just really seeing the characters grow in their own unique ways, I don't need a grand villain in this arc. I just need some good moments like this is what we got. Overall, having My Hero Academia go on break for a week, coming back with this episode, this gave me all I personally wanted. There was some really good comedy, looking at some of the characters and just their reactions, it was glorious to see. Overall, I don't have a whole lot to complain with this episode. It was fun, it actually detailed a lot of the development factors for multiple characters, and having ultimate moves actually be ultimate moves in an important way and not a gimmicky one-off thing for a random shonen manga writer like most would use is a nice thing. But let me know what you're thinking of the episode down in that comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you're new, also be sure to subscribe. So until next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.